look up at the night sky. In that silent, velvet darkness dotted with the cold fire of distant suns, our entire history has played out on a single, fragile speck of dust. We are a species born in a cradle, the planet Earth, and for millennia, we have been bound to it. We have built empires, unlocked the secrets of the atom, and cast our digital thoughts across the globe in an instant. Yet, for all our triumphs, we remain profoundly vulnerable. Our cradle is finite. Its resources are limited. Its climate is changing, and it drifts through a cosmic shooting gallery of asteroids and comets. The very things that allowed us to flourish, our insatiable curiosity and our exponential growth, now press against the physical limits of our world. We are approaching a ceiling, a planetary boundary that once hit could spell stagnation or even extinction. But what if the ceiling is not an end, but a beginning? What if the solution to our planetary limitations lies not in consuming less, but in building bigger? What if, to save ourselves, we must learn to think not on the scale of cities or nations, but on the scale of stars? This is not a new dream. It is a whisper that has echoed through the halls of science and fiction for decades. A vision of engineering so audacious it verges on the divine. It is the dream of the megastructure. To understand this dream, we must first journey back to 1960. The world was locked in a Cold War, looking inward and upward with suspicion. In the midst of this, a physicist at the Institute for Advanced Study in Princeton, a man named Freeman Dyson, published a short, revolutionary paper. It was not about weapons or politics. It was about aliens, or rather, how to find them. Dyson reasoned that any sufficiently advanced technological civilization would eventually face the same energy crisis we are just beginning to comprehend. Their star, like our own sun, pours out unfathomable amounts of energy in all directions, and their home planet intercepts only a minuscule fraction of it. To a truly advanced species, this would seem like an unconscionable waste. Dyson's logical conclusion was that such a civilization would embark on the ultimate construction project. They would build a structure to capture the entirety of their star's output. He proposed that we might detect such an alien civilization not by listening for their radio signals, but by looking for the telltale heat signature of a star that had been artificially enclosed. He called his idea an artificial biosphere, but the name that stuck, immortalizing his vision, was the Dyson sphere. Popular imagination immediately seized upon the image of a vast, solid shell built around a star, a titanic piece of celestial real estate. But Dyson himself, a practical man, envisioned something more feasible, more elegant, and ultimately more stable, not a solid shell, which would be gravitationally unstable and require materials of impossible strength, but a swarm, a Dyson swarm. Imagine millions, perhaps billions, of independent objects orbiting a star in a thick, coordinated cloud. Some of these objects would be massive solar collectors, their surfaces vast mirrors focusing starlight onto power converters. Others would be industrial foundries, automated factories, and zero-gravity laboratories. And woven throughout this intricate dance would be the habitats themselves, the new homes of humanity. These would not be cramped capsules, but entire worlds of their own. Great spinning cylinders or wheels, kilometers in diameter, generating Earth-like gravity on their inner surfaces through centrifugal force. Inside you could have forests, oceans, and cities, all bathed in simulated sunlight, protected from the harsh vacuum of space. The sky would not be blue, but a breathtaking panorama of the swarm itself, a glittering tapestry of neighboring habitats, and colossal energy platforms, all set against the steady, brilliant glow of the captured sun. Building such a thing seems like the work of gods, not men. And yet, the path to it follows a relentless, bootstrapping logic. It begins with a single, self-replicating robotic probe. Its destination, the planet Mercury. No other body in our solar system is so perfectly suited for the task. It is rich in the iron, nickel, and silicates needed for construction. It has no atmosphere to contend with. Its gravity is weak, making it easy to launch materials into space, and it is perilously close to the sun, bathing it in a torrent of solar energy. Our automated miners and fabricators would land on Mercury and begin their work. They would use the abundant solar power to mine the planet's crust, refine the metals, and build copies of themselves. Then, they would construct electromagnetic catapults, or mass drivers, to begin flinging processed material into solar orbit. This is the key. The project powers itself. The first few solar collectors launched provide the energy to build and launch the next 100. Those 100 power the construction of the next 1,000. It is a process of exponential growth, a feedback loop of creation. Over centuries, perhaps millennia, the planet Mercury would be systematically disassembled, its entire mass converted into the building blocks of the swarm. The inner solar system would transform from a collection of dead rocks into a vibrant, living ecosystem of human design. This civilization would be a Type 2 on the Kardashev scale, a measure of a civilization's technological prowess based on its energy use. A Type 1 civilization harnesses the full energy potential of its home planet. A Type 2 harnesses the full energy of its star. We are currently a meager Type 0.7. The leap to Type 2 would represent an energy budget billions of times greater than our current one. Scarcity of energy, the driving force behind so much of human conflict and limitation, would simply cease to exist. The Dyson swarm offers not just survival, but resilience. A civilization confined to a single planet is like a person keeping all their eggs in one basket. A single asteroid impact, a runaway pandemic, or a catastrophic war could be the end, but a swarm civilization is distributed. It is decentralized. The loss of 1 or even 100 habitats would be a tragedy, but it would not be an existential threat to the species as a whole. Humanity would be spread across millions of independent, yet interconnected, worlds. This diversity would be our greatest strength, fostering an explosion of different cultures, political systems, and ways of life, a Cambrian explosion of human society. While Dyson's vision focused on energy and practicality, another visionary took the concept of a stellar-scale habitat and gave it an iconic, breathtaking form. In 1970, science fiction author Larry Niven published his novel Ringworlds, where Dyson offered a swarm. Niven proposed a single, continuous band, a ring. Imagine a ribbon of matter, unimaginably strong, built in orbit around the Sun at roughly the same distance as the Earth. This ring would be over 1 million kilometers wide and have a circumference of nearly 1 billion kilometers. It would be spinning, and its rotation would create a perfect 1g of artificial gravity on its inner surface. The total living area on this inner surface would be equivalent to 3 million Earths. Here, the problem of living space is solved on a scale that defies comprehension. You could give every person on Earth today their own continent-sized estate and still have room to spare. The inner surface would be a single, continuous world. You could, in theory, walk its entire circumference, a journey that would take a lifetime. Towering walls, thousands of kilometers high along each rim, would hold a breathable atmosphere. To create a day-night cycle, a smaller, inner ring of colossal shadow squares would orbit between the ring world and its sun, casting patches of darkness that sweep across the landscape. The sky above would be a solid arch, a pale blue ribbon stretching from horizon to horizon, with the sun appearing as a brilliant and moving point of light directly overhead. The sheer audacity of the ring world is both its appeal and its greatest challenge. The primary obstacle is material science. To withstand the immense tensile forces generated by its own rotation, the ring world's structure would need to be made of a material with atomic bonds stronger than anything we can currently conceive of. Niven invented a fictional substance called skrith to solve this problem. For us to build a ring world, we would need a real-world equivalent, perhaps a perfectly woven fabric of carbon nanotubes or some form of exotic matter held together by the strong nuclear force. This is a hurdle so high it remains firmly in the realm of theoretical physics. Furthermore, a rigid ring is inherently unstable. Like a spinning hoop balanced on a fingertip, any slight gravitational nudge from Jupiter or a passing comet would cause it to drift. Without constant correction, it would eventually collide with its own sun. Niven himself acknowledged this flaw in later books, retrofitting his creation with massive attitude jets to maintain its position. A ring world would be a magnificent but terrifyingly fragile artifact. Its structural integrity would be the single point of failure for a civilization of trillions. Unlike a Dyson swarm, where disaster is localized, a breach in the ring world would be the end of everything. The atmosphere would vent into space in a cataclysmic hurricane, and the structure itself could shatter. A catastrophe of truly cosmic proportions. So which path would a future humanity choose? The practical, resilient, but distributed swarm, or the majestic, unified, but perilous ring? Perhaps the answer is both. One can imagine a civilization beginning with a Dyson swarm, a logical first step in harnessing the sun's power and moving industry off-planet. For centuries, this swarm of O'Neill cylinders, Bernal spheres, and industrial hubs would be the heart of human civilization. Then, with the materials science perfected and the energy budget of an entire star at their command, they might embark on their magnum opus, the construction of a ring world in the outer solar system, a true paradise garden, a statement of their ultimate mastery over matter and energy. Living in such a future would transform the very definition of being human. With near-infinite energy and space, the old drivers of human society, competition for resources, land, and power would melt away. What does economics mean when you can 3D print anything you desire, powered by the sun? What do national borders mean when your world is a million Earth-wide? Or when you can simply build a new world if you disagree with your neighbors? The challenges would shift from the physical to the philosophical. With survival assured, what would be our purpose? Perhaps humanity would finally be free to pursue the things that truly matter: art, science, exploration, and the quest for understanding. We would have the time and the resources to answer the deepest questions. Are we alone in the universe? What is the nature of consciousness? What lies beyond the boundaries of known physics today? These visions of Dyson spheres and ring worlds feel like distant dreams, the stuff of speculative fiction. Our problems are immediate and terrestrial: political division, economic inequality, a warming planet. It is easy to dismiss such grand projects as escapist fantasies, but history teaches us that the fantasies of one generation often become the engineering projects of the next. A few centuries ago, the idea of flying through the air was a myth. Communicating instantly across oceans was magic, and holding the world's knowledge in a small glass rectangle in your hand was an absurdity. The path from here to there is long and fraught with peril. It requires a unity of purpose and the long-term vision that our species has rarely demonstrated. We must first learn to be good stewards of our own small world before we can earn the right to build new ones. But these megastructures offer more than just a solution to our physical limitations. They offer a goal, a grand, unifying project for all of humanity. They represent a future where we rise above our petty squabbles and embrace our potential as a species. They are a declaration that our story does not have to end here. In the fading light of our cradle, the choice is ours. We can remain a planetary species, forever at the mercy of the next ice age or the next stray asteroid. Or we can reach for the stars, not just to visit them, but to remake them in our own image, to build a home among them that is worthy of the consciousness that conceived it. The blueprints for our salvation have already been drawn. We need only find the will to build.